Hello, and welcome to another edition of What Sold This Summer. Today we're going over July 20th through 26th in my reselling business. This is a week I really actually took off. My family has been in town this past week, and so I did not work at all. With that being said, I'm still actually pretty happy with sales, and I had some good ones, so let's get into it. I just wanted to compare this week to the week prior a little bit. Some things I'm happy about. Made about $100 more than last week. 714 about last week, 793 this week, but my total earnings, so this is what was deposited into my bank account because it doesn't include cost of goods, because if I was a cash-based business, this is probably what I'd look at most. Cash in, $580.48. And when I say cash-based, I mean cash-based accounting, not like I'm buying everything in cash. And then total gross profit. So this includes my cost of goods because I actually do track the cost of goods of each item that I sell. Is $436.13. I mean, last week, that's $100 more than last week, so that's good. But the main thing I'm happy about is that I only sold 22 items as compared to last week I sold 28, and my average sales price has recovered. Thank goodness, and so is my average gross profit, because last week it was a really sad. In fact, Matt was like, I can't believe your average gross profit was $11 last week. That's incredibly sad. So now it's back to exactly kind of where I want to be, which is around 20 bucks, 1982. So everything I'm selling, on average, I'm making 20 bucks. So that's good. Still have the most amount of sales on Poshmark, $519, but eBay is doing much better. Last week it was like 62 bucks. This week it was about 244. So it's slowly recovering. Mercari actually had fewer sales, just won 30 bucks. But, Mercari I don't really rely on too heavily anyway. So, and then, compared to last week, Poshmark is doing about the same, but really eBay is what recovered and pulled through. So I do want to say just now, like August, Matt and I had a sit down talk, like we really need to get back to work in August. It was fun to take off July. We got sick. We got to hang out with friends. We got to hang out with family, but we really need to get back to work in August. So I am planning on seeing a lot better sales numbers, starting next weweek, because I'm going to be listing a whole lot more. But let's start out the week on the 20th. This was my one and only sale on Mercari. I really don't list shoes on Mercari because since I do free shipping on Mercari, it's expensive to ship shoes typically. But I went ahead and listed these, and they did, I think I listed them for $35, and they sold for $30, which ended up not being too bad of a situation because I got them at Goodwill for $7.99. These are Patricia Nash. This is a brand that does a lot of tooled leather purses and shoes and so forth. Some of the purses can sell for really a good amount of money. This particular pair, and oftentimes it's sold on QVC, but these were in excellent condition, and I saw them at Goodwill. I decided to go ahead and, I didn't check comps, I just picked them up, and they sold really fast on Mercari. So I bought them for $7.99. I had them listed for $35, and then I received an offer for $30. I did have to pay about 10 bucks in shipping, but that gave me a gross profit of $12.32, and they sold after, like, the next day, one day. So I would pick them up again, and I might be picking up more Patricia Nash moving forward. This was, if y'all watched my bins haul, one of them recently, I'll link it up on the screen. This pair of Hokas was in there. These are like an Iron Man special edition Hoka, but these had quite a bit of wear, especially, I tried to photograph it as much as possible, but especially, see, on the outer sole, as you can see here. So I only listed them for $25. If they were in excellent condition, I could have listed them for, I don't know, $80, $100, but they were not. They're in really bad condition. So I just purchased them at the bins for $1.28, listed them for $25. They sold the next day. So I did list some things this week. I guess I should say that. Or in the beginning of the week. Received an offer the next day for $20, accepted it, and that gave me a gross profit of $14.72 really fast. So I was actually really happy with this sale because I don't think I've ever sold Hokas. I just don't find them. If they're at Goodwill, they're priced up really high. And if they're at the bins, they typically are just in this kind of condition. But I think I might start picking up like this kind of condition Hokas if they're, you know, cute enough or special edition enough. Anyway, if you guys have more experience with Hokas in the comments down below, let me know. I know some lines, some styles just sell a lot better than others, and the newer the better typically, but that was a special edition one that sold pretty fast. Okay, something I've been really enjoying selling recently, sold this on the 20th, is hats, and specifically beanies. I think I'm going to keep going through this section of Goodwill in the future, and then also, like, if I ever see it in the bins, sometimes there's like an accessory bin at the bins, the Goodwill bins. I want to make sure I go through that too. But this I found in a recent thrift with me. It's a new tag Madewell beanie, really cute, purple. I got it for $4.99. So it sold after one day too. So like this was a good day where like I listed some stuff and 3 things that I listed sold the next day. That's always a really gratifying feeling when that happens. I had it listed for $20 and then it sold to a Poshmark VA offer to liker for $20 plus discounted shipping. So I only made a gross profit of about $9, but it sold the next day and I spent $5 to make $9. So, you know, it was so fast to list and stuff. I don't regret this decision, and I probably would do it again, even though it's really not hitting my target gross profit. I do make exceptions for things that are super, super easy to list and sell fast. But this reminds me, I'm gonna actually run a sale on Poshmark VA while I'm shooting this video. I love Poshmark VA. It's a software that I use within my business. It sends offers to likers whenever anyone likes anything in my closet. It sends it a minute later for 30% off, which means I don't have to be, you know, on my phone all day sending offers. And then also, this is Sunday, I like to send out bulk offers on my closet. Okay, I can't speak. Bulk offers, bulk. Why can't I say the word bulk? I actually didn't do this last week because I kind of forgot to do it. Anyway, I might exclude things I list in the last 30 days. Sometimes I do that. And then I'm going to run this. Everything in my closet is going to send out an offer for 40% off. So that should generate some sales. A couple weeks ago, it generated about $200 in sales. So this week, you know, I didn't even run a sale and I actually still did well. So that's good. Okay, this is a good brand, athletic wear brand to be on the lookout for. It always sells well for me. It doesn't sell for a ton. I mean, certain pieces, like everything, are going to sell for more. But it always sells really fast. So the brand is Oiselle. You see that there? O-I-S-E-L-L-E. I think that means bird in French. So it's probably like Oiselle. Really? I don't know. But I took French in high school, so don't come at me. It's been a minute since I was in high school. These were a cute pair of shorts. I think they were in the same, maybe bins haul recently. I don't remember which one. Maybe the same one with the Hokas. But really, I really like picking up this brand. I really like finding it at the bins. This was a cute printed pair of shorts that they had this like botanical print on them. I guess they were called the Roga shorts. Easy to find, the style name. In fact, how I do it is I just upload my photo and then I right-click search image with Google and then it pulls it up like really easily. So in case you ever like curious as to how I find the style name, that's one of the easiest way to do it if it doesn't have a style number on the materials tag. It had a tiny little flaw here, which I disclosed. But I had these listed for $35 and they sold to a Poshmark VA automated offer to liker for $24 plus discounted shipping, which gave me a gross profit of about $16 because I only spent $1.28 on them at the bins. So that's great. I sold after only 9 days. Really, really, really happy with this sale. Okay, let's move on to the 21st. What sold on the 21st? I have like 10, 12 of these left. I got these in my last liquidation palette, I believe. Yeah, no, I got them in a liquidation palette, not my last one. No, it was my last one. Okay, it's a pair of Sam Edelman Raquel knee-high boots. They're so pretty in this beautiful chocolate brown color. It's kind of more like a chestnut brown, to be honest. But I've sold like dozens of these and I still have like a dozen left. So anyway, not much to say about them. I have them listed. They're new in box for $100, and this one sold for $70, which gave me a gross. It was also a Poshmark VA automated offer to liker. My cost of goods on this liquidation pallet was $9.81 per pair of shoes. It was a shoe pallet, and so I made about 44 bucks on these. It took 678 days to sell this pair, but I have more. Some took, sold faster. Some are taking longer. Just I've had so many. Here's another, oh my gosh, Free People liquidation palette. If you watch my videos, you hear me mention this palette all the time. It was a huge palette, and it was a very expensive palette because my cost of goods was $11.34 per piece. But this is actually one that I found in my inventory audit when I moved office spaces about a year ago, and found some stuff that I had in my inventory that was not listed, and this was one of them. And so I listed this one, got it up. It's a cute paradise print midi dress. I listed it for $50. I received an offer for $42, which I accepted, and that gave me a gross profit of $22.26, and it sold after 198 days. New with tag. Good sale. Hard to repeat because I don't do liquidation anymore, but I'm just trying to move that stuff out, so that was a really happy sale for me. Okay, this is something that I wanted to sell for more. This was like an experiment. I never pick up this brand, but actually, I guess Hill City is owned by Gap. I think that's what I found when I was listing. It's from fall 2018, so it's not like a super new piece. In fact, I think it was one of like the first pieces they released when they like launched this brand, but I think this brand is also sold on Huckberry, so I'm kind of confused. Anyway, the brand is Hill City. It's a menswear brand. I found it at the bins. I was kind of excited to get this one listed because I wanted to see how it would do. I listed it for $50, and then I received an offer, I think, for $25 on eBay. And I was like, no, I don't want to sell for $25. I want to see how it does. It was after 7 days of listing. So I countered, I think, like 30, and then they countered 26, and then I was just not having good sales. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to accept 26 plus shipping. You know what, actually, it did generate my gross profit goal. Sold after 7 days, my gross profit, because my cost of goods was only 95 cents, was $21.04. So I would pick this up again, and I would do it all again, and maybe it would even sell for more next time, but Hill City, like button downs and stuff, one pick up, but maybe outerwear is a good one to know and pick up, especially if it's at the bins for 95 cents. This was such a good score. Someone threw this back in the bins. Mistake. Because it was in excellent condition. In fact, the little piece of plastic was still wrapped around the zipper, like never worn. I didn't even disclose that in the listing, but hopefully it'll be a happy surprise when the person receives it. Lily Pulitzer, some pieces still sell so well. This is one of them. It's the Francie high collar dress, fit and flare style. It's a size 2, so it's actually a small size and performed really well. I listed it. I could have listed it higher, but I listed it for $120, which is a good price to list it at. So like that night that I listed it, someone messaged me. It was like wanted to buy it for $70, and I was like, no. And then a few days went by, and I received an offer for $80, and I accepted that. I wanted to sell it for like $84, but $80 was fine. So I'm glad I waited 6 days. It sold after 6 days for $80, gave me a gross profit of $63.04, and yeah, I got it at the bins for 96 cents. So super great sale. Hey, I actually just mentioned this in a video this week. The brand is John Elliot. This actually piece didn't perform that well, but this blazer retailed for $573. So if you don't know this brand, I wouldn't know it. I mean, this particular piece didn't do well because it's a size 0. It's actually, they do like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, sizing. But the reason didn't do well, it doesn't have the belt. So it's just essentially like green colored blazer, and I've had it for so long, so hopefully the piece I picked up at Goodwill this past week doesn't perform the way that this one did, but yeah, in that thrift with me, which was up earlier this week, I'll link it up on the screen in case you didn't watch it, I did find a sweatshirt by John Elliot. This is the one I got in liquidation. It's new with tags, and I got it for $10.17. I've had it for 827 days. So I actually had it listed for 80 and I received an offer for 30. And since I had it for so long, I just decided to go ahead and move it. And so I made a profit of $13.83. I'm just going to move on with my life. But yeah, I was missing the belt. So I wouldn't pick it up and if I had the option, because I generally think it's a bad idea to pick up things that are missing belts, or missing anything. Anyway, glad it got sold. It is cute. Good brand to know. Here's another really good brand to know. I actually picked this up. I think I included it in a haul video. Katie May. Let me find the tag. This was a really good sale. This brand is a formal wear brand generally, and they sell lots of formal wear pieces. This is kind of like a wedding dress, and this is called the Legacy Gown. It retails for hundreds of dollars. It's sold in places like Revolve and Shopbop. I've thrifted this at Goodwill for $14.99. I had it listed for $89 and it sold for full price, which was really great. It did take 46 days to sell, but that's only a month and a half. Really not that bad for formal wear. It did have a couple flaws too, like very, very, very minor flaws. I oftentimes don't like picking stuff up like this at Goodwill because it oftentimes has flaws, but I bit the bullet, took a chance, and I'm glad I did on this one. Okay, this is a good brand to know, but this piece didn't perform well because it had so many flaws. It's a liquidation piece. Understated leather. This brand can sell well, so if you don't know it, good to know. Yeah, I got this in liquidation. I've had it for 1,449 days. I recently dropped the price. I probably had it way overpriced, and then I dropped the price to 45, and it sold to a Poshmark. Offered a liker for 31. It is really cute, and so I made a profit of $9 about. So yeah, I just had some flaws and etc. So it took a while to sell, but it's a genuine leather skirt, so $31 for that. It's pretty good, and it's a good brand. It's sold in Revolve, Shopbop, all the rest. Okay, this is a good Free People style to know. We're into what sold on the 24th. Oh yeah, I had another $0 sales day this week on the 22nd. This Free People Swim Too Deep sweater. Anytime you come across a really chunky knit turtleneck sweater or mock neck sweater by Free People, or even like a chunky knit crew neck. I think there's one, Jack and Ryan always talk about that style. It's the one that Ryan has like a million of. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Anytime you come across a chunky knit sweater by Free People, it's worth checking comps. This is one of them, Swim Too Deep. I got this at the bins for $1.08. I had it listed for $48. It was nice because I had actually sold this exact sweater like a long time ago, so I had the listing basically made for me. I just had to add the photos and the measurements. I had it listed for $48, sold to a Poshmark, offered a liker for $34 plus discounted shipping. Gross profit $24.10, 56 days to list. Easy peasy. Love it. Love this kind of sale. Here's a sale I did not so thrilled about. I had about 4 or 5 sales of items that I've had forever that I recently dropped the prices on. So I'm just trying to move them, and really happy that I did. Yeah, I really need to be more aggressive and regular with when I'm lowering prices on inventory. But anyways, this is a pair of Zella tie-dye leggings. Zella is an in-house activewear brand from Nordstrom. I'd never pick it up, really. There's maybe some outerwear pieces that would be worth picking up if you found it at the bins or something, but I honestly never pick it up. This is, had it listed for $15, sold it for $10.50 plus shipping, and I got it through liquidation 1,381 days ago, and I made a gross profit of about $2.27, so glad it moved. Here's a good, okay, so we're on to what sold on the 25th, so we just got the 25th and 26th left. This is a Bolo brand. I mean, I wouldn't have known about it unless it was for liquidation. I got this piece in liquidation a long time ago too, 961 days ago. Helene Berman. If I came across this at Goodwill, there's a good chance I would stop and look it up anyway because the brand tag says made in England. It's like, definitely looks kind of more higher end. This was a tweed jacket, retail for $350. I lowered the price on this too. It was a good size, extra large. I had it listed for $140. Someone who had already received a 50% off offer sent that again for $70, and I just went ahead and accepted it. So, oh yeah, I spent $25 on this. So I spent a good chunk of change, but it did give me a gross profit of $31. So it was worth it. But it just took so long to sell. So I probably just had it overpriced, and but I'm glad it sold. I lowered the price on this one too. This is another one that just took way too long to sell, 1,495 days. I rarely pick up Lovers and Friends anymore. This is actually the older tag, the one with the cursive lovers. So I generally would just say like pass on this tag unless it's like, I mean, I don't know, if it was really cute, maybe look it up, but generally it's just like a automatic no for me. But I got this in liquidation. I lowered the price to $35. It sold for $22. I received an offer of $22, which I accepted, and only gave me a gross profit of $1.44, but I'm really happy that it moved. This is something that sold pretty fast. 6 days. So it's a pair of Madewell Sandals, but I got them at Goodwill for $6.99. They're in like excellent condition. $6.99 is actually pretty cheap for shoes in our Goodwills. I had them listed for $40, and I received an offer for $25 6 days after listing. It would have been nice to get $28, but $25 is fine. So I accepted it, and it gave me a gross profit of $13. So a really good sale. Very happy with it. It's the kind of shoe sale I like to see. Then I had a bundle sale of 2 Patagonia pieces. Both of them I found at the bins. This was a trout trucker hat with the Patagonia logo and a fish. And then I had it listed for $25, and then another item listed for $25. This I listed for $25 because it had several flaws. Had a hole there and then a little stain there, and I disclosed that in the listing. Yeah, it sold for $17 each, and I got both of them at the bins, so about $12.64 for one, $12.44 for the other. The hat took 6 days to sell. The sweatshirt took 10 days to sell, so happy about those sales. Like Patagonia is one of those brands I don't mind picking up and listing it for $25 because it generally sells pretty fast. Fela is another piece that I lowered the price on. I sold this for $10 plus shipping. It's new to tag. I just wouldn't recommend picking up Fela. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some pieces out there I'm not aware of that sell well, but this one did not, and it's a pretty cool, trendy piece. So anyway, lost $1.23 on that. I got it through liquidation. Had it for 1,408 days. Just happy to see it go. Got recouped some of my money and just moved on with my life. This is a good sale. It took 27 days to sell. It was a Madewell men's pair of pants that I got at the bins. I think I showed this in some haul. Spent 96 cents on it, had it listed for $45, and it sold for $35 plus shipping, which gave me a gross profit of $27.44, which is great. And yeah, it only took 27 days to sell. So I like selling men's Madewell, especially pants and some jeans. What was this from? Oh yeah, the newest materials tag doesn't say the season it's from, so that's, at least if you see that, you know it's fairly recent, but eventually that's not gonna be useful. I like selling Madewell men's. It tends to sell pretty fast for me. And then the last 2 sales from this week. First is this new tag. I got this at the bins. Original penguin tie. I just picked up some ties and said, let's try it out. And I think this might be the first one to sell. No, I don't know. I think I've sold a couple. I had it listed for $25, and it sold to a Poshmark via automated offer to liker for $17 plus discounted shipping. And it gave me a gross profit of $10.63. It was just so easy to list. I would definitely do it again, even though it didn't hit my profit goals. It's just super easy, and I like selling accessories like this. And then my last sale from this week was this pair of Eileen Fisher, one of my favorite bread and butter brands to sell. This is an older tag, but it's 100% merino wool pair of pants, and they didn't even have any holes or anything, so that's really great. Italian yarn. I didn't even put that in the title, but that is a good keyword. I had these listed for $45, and they sold for 30% off on Goodwill for $31.50 plus shipping. and that hit my gross profit goal of $23.35 because I got them at the bins for $1.61, and they only took 41 days to sell. So even though it's older Eileen Fisher, it's 100% wool pants. Size medium is kind of iffy on Eileen Fisher. I wouldn't recommend picking up medium from Eileen Fisher unless it's like a really substantial piece, but I took a chance on this one from the bins, who cares, and it did well, so I'm really happy with that. But that is the video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Pretty good week for, you know, literally doing nothing. But yeah, excited for August. Let me know in the comments down below how your July sales were in general, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, love y'all. Bye.